What's up, everybody? I'm sure everybody heard about it. The news broke out today in the morning. Uh, Rafael dos Anjos broke his foot and pulled out of UFC 196, and the UFC went on a quest for a new opponent to save the event. So I read the news online, and I went, I think, on Facebook. There is a group called MMA. They always post UFC and MMA news. I was reading the comments on the post, and a lot of fans were saying Cerrone stepped in and Anthony Pettis stepped in. So I posted a comment. I was like, hey guys, the guys who are saying Cerrone stepped in, whatever, can you please provide us with your source? And one of them replied to my comment, and he said, check Ariel Helwani Twitter. All right. So I went there, and Ariel Helwani was posting, tweeting at least once an hour, right? Give us play by play, telling us exactly what's going on, right? So he tweeted saying Rafael dos Anjos broke his foot. He's out of UFC 196, and that was right. Cerrone stepped in, and Anthony Pettis expressed his interest in fighting Conor, right? And then let me check Ariel Helwani's Twitter. I'm gonna bear with me for 1 sec. Right. So the UFC, according to the UFC, they contacted Frankie Edgar and Jose Aldo, and they both declined. They refused to step in. What makes sense, right? Because it's a really short notice. This is less than 2 weeks. And given the media and stuff obligations, it will be really, really tough. Besides, Conor is huge now. I think he's getting bigger. You can see it. He did a cover for Sport Illustrated, and he doesn't look as shredded as he used to be. I think he's been bulking. So anyway, Ariel Helwani said just spoke to the manager of Showtime, Pettis, and he said they have reached out to the UFC in the morning, and they want the Mcgregor fight as well. And Cerrone, he said Cerrone is now 174 pounds, and he's working with Dolce to cut down his weight. And Aldo refused to step in, and Frankie as well, right? A lot was going on, right? And Ariel Helwani was doing a great job, covering everything. And so after that, right, MMA fighting, they made a poll online for fans to go and vote what fight do they want to see, right? So it was between Conor McGregor versus Cerrone, or Conor versus Nate Diaz, or Conor versus Anthony Pettis, or Conor versus Eddie Alvarez, or Conor versus Tony Ferguson, right? And I checked in the afternoon. It was 49% of the votes wanted Nate Diaz, and 24 was for going for Donald Cerrone, 14% for Anthony Pettis, 8% for Ferguson, and 3% for Alvarez. Right Now, if I want to like rank the fights in terms of toughness for Conor, I would say uh, the toughest fight would be Donald Cerrone, just because he fought last Sunday, like a couple of days ago, so he must be on shape, right? It might be like a little tough for him to cut weight, but just bear with me for a second. Like that won't be an issue because bear with me. I'll tell you later. And then I would say the second toughest fight will be Eddie Alvarez, because he's like a heavy wrestler and he like fought a couple of weeks ago. And then I would say Anthony Pettis, and then Ferguson would be a tough fight, but I don't know how is he doing. Maybe he hasn't been training, or I don't know. So I would say Nate Diaz, and then the last would be Tony Ferguson, right? So, but most of the fans wanted Nate Diaz, and the news broke out about. So, at this point, the closest was like Donald Cerrone, right? But according to what the fans wanted, there was also a big chance they would choose Nate Diaz. So I got upset about something like Khabib tweeted that this. He said UFC does not want me to fight Conor because they said the time I fought was 2,000 years ago, and I fought bears. So Khabib also stepped in, but the UFC shut him down like immediately. They, of course, they don't want Khabib, for like we all know like the reasons. Anyway, so and then Ariel Hawani, he said important to note McGregor is scheduled to have a media day in LA tomorrow, plus do an interview with Conor. Ideal for all to have his opponent by then. All right. And then he said, curious if you had tickets to UFC 196 or were planning on buying the pay-per-view, which excites you more? Which one excites you more? Conor versus Rafael dos Anjos or Conor versus Diaz? I don't know. Like, some fans replied, and then just 4 hours ago, which is probably around like 8 p.m., Arian Hewani said, and as of this very moment, all signs point to Nate Diaz getting the shot. Okay, and then I read like on I like the same Yahoo Sport. They did an interview with Dana White, and he announced it. It was official by then. He said it's gonna be Nate Diaz, and then I read it on MMA Fighting, MMA Junkie, whatsoever. Now, I think it's gonna. I don't know. It depends, like on the shape of Nate Diaz. I don't. Who knows what he was doing? If he was training, like going to the gym every day, or like he was taking a break. You never know. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a good fight. But as my first prediction, I think Conor is gonna win. Right now, a little upset about their choice. As I said, the best choice would be Donald Cerrone. Okay, and but we like it's been the story of like most Conor's fights. The UFC don't go with the best choice; they'll go with like the easiest. Now, don't get me wrong. This is not Conor's fault. Like he has nothing to do with this. He's a great fighter. He trains his balls off. He does like everything, like his like media obligations. He has great work ethics, one like great attitude, and he's a great fighter. But like the UFC, we all know the UFC wanna like just keep him like undefeated as long as possible because he's like a cash cow to them. So I would have gone with Cerrone if it was up to me. I would have gone with Cerrone because he's been like he fought just a couple of days ago. He must be in shape, right? And the fight with Diaz is gonna be at 170. So there wouldn't be like a weight cutting problem for Cerrone because lost his last fight. Was at 170, and like he announced today that he's 174. He could have done like 165 or like I don't know 160 maybe. But it is what it is. It's gonna be a good fight. I'll be excited to watch it. Uh, if Nate Diaz is in shape, he'll pose some problems for Conor, but he's still like it's still like a really really short notice. So I think like Conor would take it, and if not like a decision, if not a unanimous decision, it's gonna be like he might finish him, because it's a really short notice. So there you have it. Nate Diaz versus Conor McGregor, UFC 196 is going to be the main event. Co-main event is going to be Misha Tate and Holly Holm. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know, please, in the comment section, what do you think about the whole situation. All right? Thank you for watching. Have a good one.